From Nutrien Ag Solutions, I'm Senior Meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your Canadian Prairie weather story for Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. Your 10-day takeaways here, we've seen a shot of cooler air sink into the prairie here. Some isolated locations seeing frost events this morning. Temperatures generally in the low to middle single digits, warmer as you head off toward the east where the cold front hasn't yet swept through. Precipitation remains sparse over the next 10 days. Opportunities for some showers in the next 3 to 4 days, but generally drier conditions across the prairie. And though we have the shot of cooler air right now, warmer temperatures will be returning to the prairie with higher atmospheric pressure across western Canada as we head into the middle of the month of October. Now, again, starting with those temperatures here, talking a little bit over caffeinated and fast this morning. Again, on the chilly side, we've got a front sweeping through those temperatures in the low to middle single digits, closer to 10, some lower teens as you get into southern and southeastern portions of Manitoba. Now, along with that, we've got some showers trailing through, heaviest rain between Saskatoon and Regina here on Wednesday morning. Some showers moving into southern Manitoba, a bit quieter as you head further west, although you can still find some light rain showers, maybe a few raindrops between Edmonton and Calgary as you head back toward Alberta. Some lighter rain in the Peace River and Grand Prairie region as well. Now, as we look at the next 7 days overall, generally on the drier side, a lot of this precipitation falls in the next 24 to 48 hours. And I say a lot of the precipitation, we're talking about less than half an inch, less than 12.5 millimeters of precipitation. Most areas seeing generally drier conditions overall over the next 7 to 10 days. And as I take this from 7 days, bring it all the way out to the next 10 plus days, this is about 11 to 12 days into the future here, not a lot of change. Again, if you're in Grand Prairie, Peace River, those showers may be a little bit more effective in your area, but otherwise across much of the prairie, the showers are going to be more of the nuisance variety, maybe enough to wet the top layer of the soil, keep you out of the field for a day or two, something like that as we kind of wrap up our fall field activities, or at least our fall harvest activities across the region. Again, just some pesky showers, but by and large, drier conditions across western Canada. And we flip this over, look at the next 15 days in terms of a departure from normal, and you see a lot of that brown shading across North America. Really, the only two spots that are going to be on the active side is going to be coastal portions of British Columbia, where we've got some Pacific moisture onshore with stronger flow around an upper level low in the Gulf of Alaska. So British Columbia on the wetter side, especially west of the Rocky Mountains. And then you head all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, portions of Florida where they were just hit by Hurricane Helene. Certainly don't need a lot in the way of moisture across that area. We'll still see some Gulf moisture, some tropical moisture across this region. But between that, from western Canada, from the Canadian Prairie down through the Corn Belt into the southern and eastern U.S., really a drier pattern over the next 10 days without much in the way of jet stream support across the region. This is what that looks like here as we get started. Fast flow between upper level low pressure across central Canada, upper level higher pressure across western and the central U.S. So between that, very strong jet stream flow. We've seen windy days. We're seeing some passages of some cold fronts here, bringing in those shots of cooler air. And we are seeing some of those rain showers across the region. That is a result of that fast jet stream flow sandwiched between the low to the north and the high to the south. Now, as I hit play on this pattern evolves. We see one more low swing through over the weekend before upper level higher pressure starts to build in across western Canada. That will signal the return for mild and quiet, dry weather across the region. So broadly looking at the next 5 days on the left, you see this pattern with fast flow sandwiched between the low to the north, high to the south, the cooler blue color to the north, the warmer color to the south. Again, fast flow between that. It's windy, it's active with areas of low pressure passing through the region. Our temperatures have been rather volatile with warmer air on the leading edge of these storms, cooler air coming in on the backside. So that's kept us in a really active late September, early October pattern, one that really hasn't produced a lot in the way of precipitation, but has kept our days interesting with those temperatures being volatile, and a couple of windy days too, with those winds gusting 60 to 80 kilometers per hour at times. Now, we transition from that pattern on the left into a pattern on the right where we've got troughing now across the Pacific, troughing over the Atlantic, and between that, upper level higher pressure ridging. You see the kind of upside down inverted U shape to the lines there in the warmer colors. That signals high pressure across western Canada and the central and western U.S. That signals a continuation of some drier conditions across the region. As I take this into days 10 to 15, the pattern only amplifies. We continue to see high pressure across western Canada. This kind of omega block pattern that you see here. Not necessarily a true omega block, but the flanking lows on the west and on the east with higher pressure in the middle. That's the recipe for a warmer, drier pattern. So kind of looking in depth over the next 3.5 days, the high-resolution NAM model shows the two areas of low pressure, kind of the one that's departing now, and then another system that'll come through the weekend. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this low will be quickly making its way across the region. Again, starved for moisture. It'll bring in some windy conditions. It'll bring some showers, but not anything in the way of, really substantial precipitation. Again, because this is a drier pattern, these storm systems, these upper level lows are passing through a dry environment, a dry air mass in place. They're bringing a little bit of Pacific moisture with them, but we've effectively kind of shut ourselves off from the Gulf of Mexico down here. We're not even bringing moisture into the Midwest or the central U.S. or the northern plains at this point. So the Canadian Prairie, just kind of a drier air mass. A couple of areas of low pressure over the next 3 to 4 days, going to bring some light showers, some windy conditions. Otherwise, high pressure builds in over the weekend, the back half of the weekend into next week, giving us kind of a break from these areas of low pressure traversing the region. A little bit of a longer look here from the European model. Again, getting it started. Pretty tightly wound area of low pressure off to our north. That cold front that swung through, and then some trailing disturbances with that fast jet stream flow, keeping showers in the area. Again, an area of showers across Saskatchewan this morning. That'll be pushing into southern Manitoba through the rest of the day today. We'll see those pesky showers potentially continuing on Thursday. Should be dry in most areas until the next area of low pressure emerges late Friday night into Saturday, bringing some more showers across the region during the weekend. So again, just these pesky, enough to wet the top layer of soil showers over the weekend before we turn drier again over the better part of the coming week. So this would be your Monday, October 7th, getting into Tuesday, getting into Wednesday, Thursday. Again, faster flow to the west over the Pacific Ocean where we've got that tightly wound area of low pressure. We will see onshore moisture bringing a lot of precipitation to coastal portions of British Columbia, but these areas of low pressure do not eject across the prairie and don't bring us anything in the way of meaningful precipitation. So your 7-day probability of picking up half an inch, 12.5 millimeters of precipitation or more through Wednesday, October 9th, we're not even really registering 10 to 20% across the prairie. So Peace River, Grand Prairie, you could see some more meaningful showers. Areas north of Highway 16, north of the prairie, into central and northern Manitoba. If you're watching me up there, you could certainly see some more meaningful showers, but otherwise the prairie on the drier side. If I take this all the way out over the next 10 days now, so through mid-October, October 12th, the probability of 12.5 millimeters of precipitation or more. Again, it's just going to be a drier pattern, enough to wet the top layer of the soil over the next 3 to 4 days, but then we kind of shut things down heading into next week. One more way to look at it, the next 10 days, total precipitation from the European ensemble. Again, we get some of these lighter green shading colors. A lot of this falls today, and then with the system over the weekend, what these light green colors are saying is 10 millimeters or less over the next 10 days. So not completely dry, but effectively drier across the region over the next 10 days. Those winds gusty at times, blustery, maybe 30 to 50 kilometers per hour through the morning today. The higher winds come with the next area of low pressure over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, that's when we could see those winds gusting 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Some very light showers, otherwise a quieter passage of that storm system. Just going to be windy and it'll mess with our temperatures here. By and large, higher pressure comes in next week. We see those warmer temperatures begin to return. What does that look like? Some of our select cities here, Calgary. What this means is, we get that shot of some frost here, some frost events midweek, but this is not a signal of a full switch over to a colder pattern. If anything, it's brief. When we get back to the mild air, high temperatures in the mid to upper teens, close to 20 degrees by the time we get to next week. Those overnight lows in the mid to upper single digits. This is Calgary. Edmonton, a very similar look. Here is Regina, Saskatoon, and then we'll finish here in Winnipeg. So colder shot of air here right now is, I guess, what I'm trying to describe. We do trend warmer, though, heading into next week. And then on the precipitation front, get those showers over the next 3 to 4 days. Also trending drier with that milder air mass heading into next week.